stops. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good evening, 83 degrees at 6:40. I'm Lori Metten, and here's what's happening. A tornado warning is in effect for Passaic, Bergen, Orange, and Rockland until 7 p.m. Live update in just a moment from AccuWeather's Brian Thompson. The death toll in the Surfside, Florida condo collapse rises to 94. U.S. health officials say the J&J COVID vaccine may pose a small possible risk of a rare but potentially dangerous neurological reaction. He wants to be mayor, but today he checked out the presidential digs. Eric Adams and other city officials from around the country were at the White House talking crime reduction. President Biden expressing support today for protesters in Cuba. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 126 points, the Nasdaq up 31, the S&P closed up 15. 1010 Wins AccuWeather says once these storms clear, it'll be cloudy and sticky tonight. A shower and thunderstorm in spots tomorrow. Wins News Time 6:41. Time now for traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Now, Lori, getting out of the Bronx, getting into Westchester, you've got your issues tonight. Northbound side of the Sawmill River Parkway, right off of the Henry Hudson. It's a standstill because of a crash near the Cross County. A lot of people are bailing off early, getting on the Deegan Thruway combo and that slow from Fordham Road up through Van Cortlandt Park. The New England Thruway not going to bail you out tonight. Northbound right after the Hutch, getting up to the Westchester line. Accident, car fire, that whole mess still has 2 lanes knocked out, and the standstill spills all the way back to Pelham Parkway. Southbound New England Thruway also slow into that area, and the southbound New England Thruway, the rubberneckers for the crash out of Pelham Manor. Here's what you need to know about bridges and tunnels. Citybound side of the George is fine. Everything outbound starting to get better, and right now the Cross Bronx the best of the bunch. Lincoln and Holland no more than 10 to 15 either way. Inbound Gowanus getting up towards 3rd Avenue with the Belt Merge. Wreck involving the MTA bus still there, still blocking the lane, and still backing you up from Fort Hamilton Parkway. Westbound Belt, the accident over near Cropsey Avenue backs you up from Knapp Street. Southern State Parkway, you got the eastbound closure at Deer Park Avenue. In fact, they divert you off at Belmont Avenue. Sunrise Highway is where you should aim to be well before that. If you can bail off of the Southern State on 110, take that to Sunrise Highway and take that east the rest of the way, you are going to save a whole lot of time and a headache. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
And now, a severe weather alert from 1010 Wins.
And it's potentially dangerous weather. We're going to get right to it and check in with AccuWeather's Brian Thompson. Brian.
And still the tornado warning in effect till through the top of the hour, Lori, includes Passaic County, northwestern quarter of Bergen County as well. The rotation has been moving basically southward across Passaic County. Now, it's getting harder and harder to find that rotation now, which is good news. It means the rotation is not as strong as it was earlier. So the potential for a tornado seems to be decreasing a bit. But still, we're going to be watching for the threat for damaging wind gusts with this cell and some hail as well. And flash flooding is becoming a bigger and bigger concern across Passaic County, even into a northwestern portion of Bergen County, especially in Passaic County. Already seeing some radar estimates of close to 2 inches of rain. That's fallen in about an hour or so, and it's still pouring in a lot of these areas, and more storms are developing. So it's getting a little concerning in northeastern New Jersey right now. We'll have to watch for some flash flooding in addition to this tornado warning again in effect for portions of Passaic, Bergen counties especially, as we head through 7 o'clock. Lori?
Okay, Brian will keep us up to date on the potential for the tornado. And if tonight's rain is anything like last week's, a warning about what you're wading through. The warning, don't wade through anything.
Well, if you saw those videos that went viral after Thursday's storms of people wading through water, the suggestion from police if you're in the subway system during the storms, don't do that. Don't put garbage bags around you and try to wade through waist-deep water. You don't know what's in that or how deep it is. The riders I spoke to here at 157th Street, obviously a little wary about what can happen today, but they'll plow through.
I guess it was just too much water.
There's a lot that needs to be done in the subway system. It's just a lot of money and a lot of time.
That's typical for weather like this.
The MTA tells me their maintenance personnel will constantly inspect track drains in these flood-prone areas and check and stage track pumps and storm boxes as the storms develop. Glenn Shuck, 1010 Wins, here in Washington Heights.
And make sure you keep it locked into 1010 Winds and 1010winds.com for the very latest on the severe weather this evening. Winds based on 645. India is dealing with a wave of deadly lightning strikes. In the past 24 hours, lightning has killed at least 38 people across 2 Indian states. Many of the deaths occurred in the western state of Rajasthan, where 11 people died after being struck by lightning near a watchtower. The official death toll in Surfside, Florida, continues to rise as authorities continue the recovery mission and the debris of the collapsed condo. Correspondent Jim Crisula with more tonight.
Confirmed deaths in the Surfside, Florida condominium collapse have climbed to 94. The number of people still unaccounted for has dropped to 22. Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett.
It's obvious that this has become much more than a collapsed building site. It is a holy site, for lack of a better word.
Searchers will face the threat of off and on heavy rain and lightning each day this week. That could slow their work.
And the family of former Plainview resident Judy Spiegel has confirmed on social media that her body has been found in the rubble. Winds News Time 646. U.S. health officials say the J&J COVID-19 vaccine may pose a small possible risk of a rare but potentially dangerous neurological reaction called Guillain-Barré syndrome. The CDC says it has received reports of 100 people who got the shot developing the immune system disorder, and it can cause muscle weakness, occasionally paralysis. The reports represent a tiny fraction of the nearly 13 million Americans who have received the one-dose vaccine. Nevertheless, they are considering putting out a warning. The government said, or putting on a label rather, on the drug. The government said the vaccines most used in the U.S. by Pfizer and Moderna show no risk of the disorder. Once again, we have a tornado warning in effect right now for Passaic, Bergen, Orange, and Rockland counties until 7 p.m. Winds News Time 647.
The ruby slippers from the Wizard of Oz are some of the most iconic objects in Hollywood history. And in the summer of 2005, a pair was stolen from the Judy Garland Museum in the small town of Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
All she said was, "They're gone. They're gone."
Welcome to No Place Like Home, a documentary podcast series that investigates the mysterious heist of the ruby slippers. Please listen and follow No Place Like Home, a presentation of C13 Originals, a Cadence 13 studio. Available now on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Phil Alvarez. My brother, Detective Lou Alvarez, fought to protect the rights of 9/11 victims. His efforts extended the time that victims and their families can claim compensation for injury, illness.
Space-time 6:51, time for traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Now, Lori, we're picking this up on the 1010 West Jam Cam. You got a crash on the southbound FDR Drive right near East 96. A couple of cars are involved in this. There are no cops with it yet, but there's a whole lot of traffic with the right lane knocked out at 96th Street. The southbound FDR is loaded up from the RFK Bridge. The avenues, the west side, they're going to provide a much better ride. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. City-bound side of the George Washington Bridge, pretty good go to the upper and lower despite some raindrops on the Jam Cam. The outbound ride is not abysmal. It is not one of those nights, and the Cross Bronx is actually better than everything else getting you out. The northbound and west side are right there with it, though. Lincoln Tunnel and Holland Tunnel, no more than 10 to 15. They got better early, but getting out of the Bronx and into Westchester, that's where the problems have risen up. Northbound side of the Sawmill right off of the Henry Hudson Parkway, it's all a crawl. Getting up to the Cross County with a wreck, you got to get out of the Bronx first, and that's not easy on the New England Thruway. Standstill from Pelham Parkway up to the Westchester line where a crashed car fire, whole mess. Still has 2 lanes knocked out, southbound slow into the area, and then more company on the southbound New England Thruway coming down to Pelham Parkway. If you're not in a truck, you're on the southbound Hutch instead. It's better. In New Jersey, Garden State Parkway, they get you twice. Northbound side right now near exit 131, wreck and car fire, all has the right lane knocked down, and then another crash on the northbound parkway at 137 in Cranford. That sits in the left lane. Eastbound Southern State Parkway closed in Suffolk at Deer Park Avenue with a wreck and investigation. They force you off at Belmont Avenue. It's bad from 109, and you are on Sunrise Highway instead. Eastbound, it's a much better ride. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones. Breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 West.
Join Epic Long Island for their annual golf and tennis event Monday, September 27th at the beautiful Mill River Club in